Wild Way Home, page 142. I remember. Brilliant, I say, breathless too. Maybe that's where she is, Mothka, at your home. That makes sense, total sense. Well done, Harvey. I leap to my feet. That's where we can go. Where is it? I sweep my arm over the vast moonlit forest. Where's home? He screws his face up like he's thinking so hard to remember. His big hands open and close, reaching for something that's almost within his grasp. Then he shakes his head crossly. No, I remember home. I not remember where home. He bangs his spear on the ground in frustration. Okay, I say slowly. Well, maybe I can help. Can you describe it to me? You might... Hope seeps away again. Harvey stares blankly at me with those ever-dark eyes. Home, he mumbles. Then he suddenly stands taller, like an idea has struck him. He starts to draw on the rock with his spear, a pale grey line. I peer over his shoulder as he draws one large stone with a medium-sized dome balanced on top, and then a dome on top of that. Home, he declares, standing back proudly. Home, I say doubtfully. It looks kind of like a jelly. Then I look at his picture again, and suddenly I get it. I see exactly what he's drawn. It's the spirit stone on top of the mound at the top of the hill. Home, I say, tapping his picture with my finger and laughing out loud. I know exactly where your home is. We call it home in my forest too. Look, Harvey. I point across the valley. The massive moon has risen so it looks like it's balanced right on the most tip of spirit stone, like a ball on a circus seal's nose. It's the spirit stone. Home. Home, says Harvey, squinting into the darkness, not seeing it because he's forgotten it's there. And then an idea strikes me then. I think about what Mum always says to Dad when he loses his keys. Retrace your steps. Maybe that's what I need to do too. I lost my way over there on the Spirit Stone side of the valley, somewhere between Gabriel's Oak and the river. That's where it must be, the portal, the magic gateway, or whatever manner of craziness took me from my Mandel Forest to this Stone Age one. A half-formed plan hatches itself in my mind. Once we find Harvey's home and find Mothka and make safe, then I can retrace my steps and find my home too. I smile to myself. It's all going to be fine. This is brilliant, Harvey. I've got a plan. Listen, we get back out of Dead Man's Cave and I'll know the way to the Spirit Stone from there. No problem. Let's go home. Let go home, says Harvey, as fired up as I am. He grabs his spear and we peer back down into the wolf cavern. The wolf with the torn ear is nowhere to be seen. There's only the grey bundle of tiny wolf pups. We grin at each other. It's time. Carefully, we lower ourselves down over the rim of the cavern. Heart thumping, I scramble with my feet to find the ridge, gripping my fingers so tight they hurt. I get steady then. I lower myself again. Harvey goes down faster ahead of me, spear in teeth. I squeeze my toes onto a little ledge and rest my weight, and I'm just about to let go of my handhold when the ledge at my feet gives way, crumbling to pebbles which scatter down in the dark cavern below. My toes fumble and I flail aimlessly for a foothold on the impossible rock. Then I feel Harvey's tight grip on my ankle. He silently guides my foot to where it should be, and he keeps his hold, leading me foot by foot from ledge to ledge, until we get low enough for him to let go and leap. I hear him landing with a karumph on the cavern floor. I'm nearly down too, but suddenly I miss my footing and my feet slip, so that I slither down the last of the drop with my bare legs and arms catching painfully on the sharp rocks. I land with a thud on the rocky floor. Trolley Merman? Says Harvey's concerned voice from the dark. I'm fine, I say, getting dizzily to my feet. My right shoulder throbs, and my arms and legs are skinned and bleeding. But we're on level ground now, and we're going to find Harvey's sister. We stumble hastily towards the entrance to the tunnel. I know there's no time to stop and stroke the wolf pups, but it's so quiet I can hear their gentle breathing, soft and purrish. As I clamber into the tunnel behind Harvey, I peek back over my shoulder. I know those pups will be okay. Wolves live in packs. They'll look after each other. That's how they survive. Make safe, I whisper to the pups. Then I scramble after Harvey into the tunnel. The damp air presses on me, and my mind conjures nightmares out of the deep, deep dark. I ruffle imagined poison spiders out of my hair and brush the breath of ghosts from my necks and shifty stare at something that could be a wolf shadow in the thick blackness ahead. I crawl faster, my stomach flipping as fear chases me, chases fear. Harvey is breathing heavily in the tunnel ahead of me. His noises steady my heart because I know at least he's really there. Then I realise his noises aren't just breaths. They're words. Words I taught him by accident. Shoulda, Mr. Pasca, he chants over and over. I smile. I caught for a second between so many worlds, then I join him too. Shoulda, Mr. Pasca, shoulda, Mr. Pasca. We chant together, and the spell chases the fear away until the tunnel widens and lightens, and we burst into the moon-tinged splendour of Dead Man's Cave. We run to the cave mouth and gasp in big blue gulps of cold night air. Right above my head, a crazy laugh rings out. I nearly jump out of my skin. I peer through the branches of a falling tree. It's the biggest bird of prey I've ever seen. Hee 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 hee, she giggles. She's gripping a stumpy branch with massive yellow claws. Eagle, says Harvey's voice from behind me. I stare in amazement as the eagle shakes her white feathered head and pecks under her wing with her hooked yellow beak. I've only ever seen eagles in pictures, never in real life, never in the wild. We haven't had eagles in my Mandrill Forest for hundreds of years. Maybe never, maybe thousands of years. Hee 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 hee, says the eagle, looking far too ancient and grumpy for such a giggly voice. I laugh. The eagle gives me a look. I hold her yellow gaze. She opens her huge wings and lets go of the branch and glides low over the silver gleaming river. Wow, I say as I watch her go. Wow, wow, wow. The eagle perches for a second on the pinnacle. Her white tail feathers spread like a lacy fan on the grey rock. Then she lifts into the air once more, looping back round our way, and just where the water's deepest, she dips down, lifts her talons, and snatches a fish straight out of the river. I gasp. She made it look as easy as putting fish fingers in the shopping trolley. As I watch, she banks away and circles up and up and up towards the moon. Hee 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 hee, she calls, sounding slightly smug. Fair play, I say. I watch her until she vanishes into the night. I turn back to Harvey. But Harvey's not watching the eagle. He's standing staring at those handprints, resting his palm on the one that is his own. I go back over to him. What are you doing, Harvey? He looks at me with his dark, dark eyes. My people, he says softly, smoothing his big hands along the cave wall. Is he remembering? Are all the memories flooding back? I look at the handprints, and they jog my memory too. I smile at a silly memory. They remind me of a faded old tea towel we still have at home. It was from when we were at nursery. Everybody in the class did a handprint, and teachers must have got them printed up onto tea towels for mums and dads. Tiny little handprints to remember us by. Mine, Lamont's, Beaky's. My people, I murmur. I look at Harvey. Where are your people now, I ask. Gone, he says, flat, matter of fact. Gone? Where? Gone, he says, with a deep, deep sigh. He pushes back the branches and walks out of the cave. I shiver. I don't understand, but I do understand. Poor Harvey. I'm just about to leave the cave after him when I realise I've forgotten something. I look back at the dim shape of the wolf we killed. I give thanks, I whisper sadly, and a guilty weight that sits deep in my belly shifts, then lifts a little. Between the rustling leaves of the fallen tree, I can see a river twinkling in the moonlight. I bend back the branches and hurry to catch up with Harvey. He's standing as still as a statue just ahead of me. He's making that funny circle telescope shape with his hand again. I'm just about to call out to him, ask him what's up. Then I notice in his other hand, his spear is raised. I freeze. Okay, so what I want you to do today, after you've read that, is to write or draw, what has Harvey seen? It's a prediction, so no right answer, no wrong answer. What do you think Harvey has seen? Why has he frozen? Why has he lifted his spear? Answers on a notebook page, please. You can either draw it straight on the notebook, or you can draw it on a piece of paper, write it on a piece of paper, and then take a photograph of it and add it to your page, whatever. However you like to get it to me. That's the next chapter. And our next chapter is called Spirit Song. So we'll look forward to that.